I want to start with a reality that I think everyone on this call probably lives every single day, and that's really around data friction. Here's what I mean. For a consumer to have a consistent experience, whether they're shopping in store, online, or increasingly, and we'll talk about it through an AI agent, you really need two things to be true at the same time. One is you need high quality, rich product data and a reliable, responsive supply chain. If either breaks down, the experience is going to break down. Also, this is what makes it urgent is agentic commerce is basically already here. Many of you on the call have probably in one way or another already used an AI agent to either discover product or possibly even buy it. The agents are ranking data quality right now. They're making purchasing decisions based on what they find. And if your product data is incomplete or inconsistent, your product gets skipped. And I'm not talking about something way down the road in the future. I'm really talking about now. Individually, both companies are leaders in their domains. Syndigo is a system of record for trusted product content for now 15,000 brands and counting. We're actually managing 168 million active GTINs. And Blue Yonder is the backbone of supply chain planning for the world's largest retailers, as you said a few minutes ago, Wayne. Together, the idea is kind of simple. Every supply chain decision is informed by product data you can trust, and every commerce decision is informed by supply chain intelligence that without this connection you didn't have before.
Now, imagine this instead. A supplier's enriched product data, the attributes, dimensions, the content, flows directly from Syndigo into the Blue Yonder network. The supplier onboards faster, the data is right from the start, there's no rekeying and no reconciliation. And here's the real power. When that supplier updates a product in Syndigo, a new dimension, a reformulated ingredient, updated packaging, that update cascades to every partner in the Blue Yonder network automatically. One update everywhere instantly.
They know which products are affected and which markets and at which retailers. Now, if you pair that with Syndigo's product data, you can proactively identify substitute products with the right attributes, the right dimensions, the right content, and you could swap them into your assortment before the shelf goes empty. So that's really the power of combining product data with supply chain intelligence. You might not have thought of that reverse flow, but you're not really reacting to an empty shelf anymore. You're actually preventing an empty shelf.
So imagine, picture a shopper who never touches a website. She tells her AI agent she needs running shoes, size 9, narrow width, under $140. The agent queries three retailers, compares about 12 different products, reads the specs, checks real-time inventory, confirms the next day delivery, and actually places the order. She never saw a product detail page, ever. So whose product actually got recommended, right? Whoever had the cleanest, most complete, most trusted product data. If your width wasn't specified, you weren't even in the consideration set. If your images didn't meet the standard, you were filtered out. The agent doesn't give you a second chance. And that's the world we're headed into, which is starting to happen today.
For Syndigo customers who've been building your product data for years, investing in these attributes, validated content, the aligned data, this is payoff time. The validated attributes you've built are actually what these AI agents are reading. And let me also add that we are talking to Google about UCP and OpenAI. We're specifically sitting across the table with them, figuring out how these agents are shopping, and it is all data-based. One version of Product Truth is powering the shelf, the website, and the replenishment model, and that AI agent. It's all the same data, and the organizations that have that data right are the ones the agents are recommending.
Yeah, Polly, it actually comes down to, as I said before, the data completeness, the data accuracy, and actually the data freshness, right? The agent, it's evaluating structured attributes, things like dimensions, specs, availability, pricing, imagery. If any of those are missing or outdated, the agent just moves on. There's no brand loyalty in an agentic world, right? It's purely data driven. So the best brands that invest in the data quality, they're actually going to be the ones that win.
Awesome. And let's maybe both of y'all can, or whoever wants to take a stab at this one. Stephen, we'll start with you. What's the fastest way to start seeing value from this partnership? Where should we begin?
Yeah, I think the assortment planning that we talked about in the beginning is probably the most obvious, quick, and tangible way to leverage this data. It's closest delivery and it builds, as we said, on data you're already managing.